Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube, D546? And we just wrapped up week 2 of the preseason. And my takeaways, I got a lot of takeaways. My first takeaway is beginning of the game, Russell Wilson to Bo Collins. Russ obviously still has the moon ball. Man, that was fun to watch. We have not gotten to see a deep ball like that. We haven't gotten to see a big play, an 80-yard pass play. I would go as far as to say we have not seen an 80-yard pass play since like 2017 or earlier. Who knows? I really feel like we haven't seen that in a really long time. Russ gave it to us. It wasn't in the preseason, but we got this play from Russ to Bo Collins. Got tackled at the 1. Could have been a walk-in touchdown. But pretty much after that, Russ kind of, worked the short game. And a couple of times, guys maybe should have broken tackles, maybe could have done a lot of other things. But at the end of the day, the offense pretty much stalled out with Russell Wilson, that first team offense. Dart came in for a play, ran a play action, hit Theo on a screen on a nice arm angle, kind of like a touch sidearm pass, and ended up going like 30 something yards with that screen with Theo Johnson. I want to make sure I'm staying on track though and I don't miss anything. But yeah, Bo Collins, he came to play today, had that big play, but other than that, I don't think he had another catch. I'm not sure he had another catch. And he could have had another touchdown, possibly, but he had a miscommunication with Russ. He could have had his second touchdown. But all that's kind of showing you is that he's getting behind the defense. He's been working with the first team in training camp. He was out there above guys like Montreal Washington, above the other guys. Coaches have a lot of reasons for why they put guys in over other guys, but it's looking like he's going to be someone who is going to make this roster. It's looking like it. It's looking like it. Of course, he's going to probably be out there next week, and we probably won't see the first team out there next week, but he'll probably be out there, and we'll see how he does. But keep an eye on Bo Collins. Bo Collins could be the next undrafted guy that makes a team and is actually a contributor. If he's actually a good player, that would be wonderful because, imagine Bo Collins works his way out there and, he gets outside reps and you can put Leak in the slot, Darius Slayton on the other side. There's a lot of things you can do. Okay. O line. O line the whole game. Pretty much the whole game, this O line looked great. This is the second week in a row. The offensive line from start to finish looked good. Had a couple of breakdowns. But at the end of the day, the only sack that we gave up was Jameis Winston holding the ball way too long. That's the only sack we gave up. This offensive line continues to look really good with GVR, with Evan Neal. The pass blocking was fine. Evan Neal did have one breakdown in pass pro, but other than that, looked pretty good. Looked pretty good. Marcus Bowe for the second week in a row looks like a beast at tackle. This time he wasn't out there with the first team and going against starters. So, his caliber of play isn't, you wouldn't give him as high a grade because the competition was lower. But when he was out there against the second team, against the third team, he looked great. Marcus Bowe continues to look good. He's a 5th-round pick, a guy who I think could have gone in the 3rd round. And a lot of people said, like, he's a guard, but he looks good at tackle. He looks good at tackle, and we'll see what the future holds if he ends up taking that tackle spot and Illuminor moves on, or if he ends up being a guard in the future for us. Who knows? Maybe Andrew Thomas can never get his stuff right, and he ends up being left tackle. You never know. But Marcus Bowe looks good, and why be upset if we have a third string tackle, or not the third string, but a third tackle, a swing tackle that is a young, growing player? I would love that. I would love that. So that's worst case scenario. Hyatt, he flashed a couple of times. He was open a couple of times, but he did have that one catch, and Russ missed him on another play across the field. And I thought Hyatt may have had a chance to go up there and grab that. We forget because he has not been out there much. We forget that Hyatt is a guy that can actually go up and grab the ball out of the air when he is tightly covered. So I'd like to see that. I'd like to see a little bit more of that with Russ. If Dart's out there, I know he's going to have those opportunities too. I'd love to see Hyatt get a little bit more burn. He looked good today. He looks like he is improving. So, let's see how this goes out. I don't know if we'll end up trading a guy and end up elevating a guy like Bo Collins, but we'll see how this goes with Hyatt. Good to see him back out there. I still feel good about the defense. Now, a lot of people were saying the defense, we're giving up the run. First off, look out there. You don't see Dex out there. And when we first put that defense out there with Roy Robertson Harris, we were stopping the run. Brian Burns was stopping the run. He was stopping the run. We were doing a good job. Then Abdul Carter is out there on 3rd and 8. He's at, 3 tech, playing defensive tackle pretty much, rushing from inside, which has been really, really nice for him. Really, really effective. But they run a draw there, and Abdul Carter gets washed because he's 260 pounds, and the offensive lineman just washed him out of there, and there's an open hole. That's the first run that we gave up. And then they pull Roy Robertson Harris off the field, and you put in DJ Davison and Nacho. And these two defensive tackles cannot stop the run to save their life. They don't rush the passer, they don't stop the run, yet they continue to return to be New York Giants over and over and over again. I'm not sure why. I don't know what they do that makes us think that, hey, all of a sudden they're going to be a good player, but they're just not good. They're not good in the pass game. They are not good at stopping the run. They're liabilities out there when stopping the run. They're horrible. So we hopefully Darius Alexander can step up and he can be a little bit better. I got to look at his tape, but I think he was a little bit better actually in the run game. So hopefully we can find some help there. But with Roy Robertson Harris out there, we were stopping the run, and with Dex and him out there, I think we'll be really good in the run game. Let's see what else we got here. I don't want to miss anything. The corners after Flott, and Flott looked good today. Deonte Banks was banged up. Flott was out there, cornerback too. He looked good. He broke up attack. He broke up a pass. Adebo broke up a pass. They both pretty much look good. They look like our two starting corners. So we'll see, how this cornerback competition goes, who will end up starting. I think at the end of the day, they're probably still going to be rotating in the regular season. I think they'll still be rotating. I think both of them will get snaps. And, if somebody vastly outperforms the other, he might take more. But, when corners are out there, you're going to continue to put guys out there. You're just going to do that. But I don't want to lose my train of thought. The corners after these guys are awful. Deonte Banks is getting blown out of proportion. Deonte Banks is not a bad corner. Last season he did have a bad season, but how he's playing so far in this preseason, he's been sticky. He has not turned around to locate the ball and make plays on it, but he has been in coverage and phase. So that's good. But Art Green, the rest of these guys, they gave up inside route after inside route, in route after in route. They were not good at all. And I'm thinking we're going to have to pick some guys up, to be our 4th, 5th corners. We're going to have to pick some guys up because these guys have shown in 2 straight weeks that they are no resistance. There's no resistance against them in the pass game. And, it's going to take a little bit to get them out there because, let's say we have 2 healthy corners and Flott's a starter. Flott goes out or Adebo goes out. You got Banks. So you still feel okay. But after that, it's a mess. So, not too many teams are, extremely confident in their 4th and 5th corner, but that just shows that we're in a better spot. Is that I'm worried about the 4th and 5th corner spots on this team. Besides that, again, want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Russ and offense stalled out. I kind of touched on that. I want to know, is that going to translate over? So is Russ with Malik Neighbors, is this offense going to be tough moving? We had issues moving the ball all last year, all the year before, all this. So, is this just going to be an offense that occasionally hits a big play, which we didn't have before, and that might have to carry our offense? Or is this going to be an offense that can consistently get first downs, consistently move the football, consistently put up points? We'll see. We'll see with Russ. But now let's talk about Dart a little bit. So again, I alluded to that earlier on that screen pass. He kind of reached around the defender, Hit him with a nice touch pass on the screen to Theo Johnson, which a lot of times people wonder, like, the Giants can't run a screen. The Giants can't run a screen. A lot of the screen game is the quarterback changing his arm angle, knowing when to get rid of the ball, knowing what angle to put on the ball. These are 2 straight weeks where Dart is under duress. Last week he floated the screen over the defender, and this week he kind of touch passed it around a defender, and both made big plays. Today, Theo Johnson caught that, ran for 30 yards, and that's all because of the arm angle that Dart used. Besides that, Dart today, I want to pull up Dart stats. I want to pull up Dart stats here. Okay, so today Dart was 14 for 16, 137 yards, averaged 9.8 yards per completion, a touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and he did take a sack. So they counted him running off as a sack. Dart today, again, 14 for 16, surgical today. Dart was surgical. He worked all areas of the field. He took his shots a little bit deeper. He took his intermediate placement, and today the intermediate throws and the shorter throws were on highlight. So the placement was where it needed to be. Guys didn't have to stop running. Guys ran into the passes. He threw with anticipation. Uh, it was just really, really great to see the placement there compared to what we've been seeing recently from other quarterbacks in past years. The placement was exactly where it needed to be. His movement in the pocket, his movement of knowing when to move and when to get rid of the football and not panic in the pocket looked great. The decision making was amazing today. The decision making was amazing. He had guys open underneath for some of the times where he hit deeper passes downfield and made those completions. And he had guys that he maybe, could have tried to fit something crazy in a little bit deeper, but just checked it down because that's what the defense was giving him. And we got first down after first down after first down. And Dart today, like I said, looked really, really good, looked in control. Looked like he really understood what he was doing out there, and it was fun to watch. Comparing to what we saw from Daniel Jones, we got a ton of like kind of highlight throws in his rookie season in the preseason, and we felt good. But these are like sustained drives from Jaxson Dart over and over and over again. And I would just really say that I'm impressed. I wasn't expecting to see this level of competence from Jaxson Dart in only a second preseason game. Dart has looked really good. I'm excited for what's to come. I've been someone who says like I don't want to see Jaxson Dart this year because I want to let him develop, and that would mean that Russ wasn't playing well and we were losing games. But we may actually be in a situation where we might be winning games or barely winning games, and we might make a move to Jaxson Dart to win more games, not to just get him experience, but we might get to a point where Brian Dable says, I'm putting in Jaxson Dart because I think he's the best quarterback on the roster. We might actually get there. So expect the unexpected this year. Expect the unexpected. I'm hoping that we go out there with Russell Wilson. I'm hoping he goes out there and wins MVP. Dart comes out the year after, or, whatever happens. But I'm very much hoping that we win a ton of games. But Dart looks really good. I'm not saying a ton of people are already starting to turn on Jaxson Dart and say like they're turning on Russell Wilson, and saying like it's time, to move on. The offense looks better with Jaxson Dart. I'm not going to go that far because look at the sample sizes we've seen and no Malik Neighbors and a ton of other things. But Dart does look good. Second week in a row, all of the quarterbacks pretty much look good. All of them pretty much look good today for the second week in a row. And the screen game is something that's standing out to me. The screen game is standing out, and consistent plays down the field are happening. This is the first time in years that we're seeing consistently big plays are happening. And now in the preseason, big plays are happening from multiple quarterbacks. This has not happened for a long time. And listen, while I do think that these quarterbacks are all better, not DeVito, but the rest of them are all better than Daniel Jones, in my opinion, I do believe that partially why all of them are able to make plays downfield is because the offensive line is actually blocking. So that's another reason why they're able to make plays downfield. For instance, the rush play, he had to take a long time for that play to develop, and he was able to do that and make a big play. And then let's see. I think I got everything there. I want to talk about Kafka. Just wrapping this up. Kafka's calling plays this year. The plays are looking good. Let's go back to 2022 where we were a little bit more efficient. Let's get a little bit better in the red zone, and hopefully Mike Kafka. Hopefully he's our offensive coordinator and he's great forever. But hopefully he's getting the head coaching interviews because this offense looks so great. I don't have anything else. I hope you all enjoyed the game. I'm excited for Jaxson Dart. I didn't even talk about Abdul Carter today. He had a pretty quiet day today, so he didn't get his hair cut. There's an insider. Abdul Carter isn't going to get his hair cut until he gets his first sack. Had a pretty quiet day today. Got chipped today, and it went viral. The people saying that's his welcome to the NFL moment. But other than that, really good game from the offense. Second week in a row, we put up more than 30 points, which preseason or regular season, this has not happened in a very long time. And I'm excited to see what's next. You all let me know what you're most excited about from this past game. And we got a quick turnaround for Thursday. And then we get to get ready for week 1 against the Commanders. I cannot wait. I think this is going to be the most fun season that we've had in a really long time.